Okay, it looks like we're on. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. This is Black VegFest Breakout episode, believe I'm gonna say 37. My name is Jillian Mariscal. I'm a part of Black VegFest organizers as well as Sabrosa Vegana. And today we're gonna be doing banana bread. And I'm really excited because it's such a great food for breakfast, for dessert, depending if you want to put like nuts and things. This is a good basic recipe. Um, Thank you for joining us. Hold on. Let me get this closer. Just a little bit. There we go. Thank you for joining us. All right. So if you're just joining us now, my name is Jillian. Thank you for joining. I see everybody coming on now. Okay. So let's get to this. This is banana bread, vegan banana bread, no eggs, no milk. I I'm not really into baking as much because I feel like it's such a chemistry, especially more after becoming vegan. Because I was like, how are you gonna? It's just too much. It's just too much work. But this is such a basic recipe, and you'd be very surprised that you can get such a fluffy result off of just basic ingredients that you would have in the house. Let's go over those ingredients now, because this is going to be, there we go. All right. So first you need your bananas. And I think everyone knows this as a general rule, but bananas should always be very ripe for banana bread like this. This is okay. This has some spots, but this is gonna taste even better. So you want it to be basically like this. But if you don't have it like that, it's totally fine. I would just maybe add more bananas because you really want that flavor. The sugar is really happening here, and also the benefits are healthier with this type of banana. So in this recipe, I'm putting four. Oh, that banana is leaking. Ugh, that's when you really want it. So don't throw these away. This is like when you really want. Look at that. Oh gosh, look, it leaked on here. Ugh. Anyway, so that's just goes to show that's how ripe you want it, like that. There you go. So I'm putting four in this recipe because I find that it really gives it that flavor I'm looking for. Also, bananas are used as egg replacers. See my face a little bit. All right. Bananas are also used as egg replacers. So as you notice in this recipe, we're not going to have any egg replacement because we have them here. Now I do want to show you though an egg replacer that I do use. Boom, for if it wasn't banana bread, and I use this one here because it gives it the consistency I would like without the flavor of egg. So if you want to use baking, I would suggest this is a really good egg replacer. You can find this in local supermarkets. So there you go. But in this case, like I said, we're using bananas, and bananas are a natural egg replacer. And what it does is it binds, right? It keeps it fluffy, and it's a binder. So we have our bananas. Then we're gonna have our sugar. Now, sugar in this recipe, please don't sacrifice me. I know I'm using like really processed domino sugar. Use organic. They put organic here, but use whatever sugar. I know people are strict with how they have sugar. You could even don't even need to use sugar. You use maple syrup. Um, does the egg replacer have any flavor to it? No, it doesn't. It has no flavor. This one it has this is why I use this for recipes that I don't want an egg flavor, but I want the egg, like the fluffiness and stuff like that, or the binding effect. This will give you anything egg related, but it doesn't have flavoring. It's really actually it's like baking soda. So for the sugar, I have in the recipe that I'm going to post on IG, that's gonna have optional for maple syrup, which is a natural sugar, right? Coming from the trees, without processing. But this is what I'm using today. I would like honestly, if you're going to exchange this for maple syrup, Let me think. I don't think it needs to have the full cup. Maple syrup, I feel like it's so much more sugary than this because this will melt and this will probably take more. So I would do half a cup. Start with half a cup of maple syrup when you're swapping out any of the sugars. Start with half. Don't go for full cup because it might be overpowering. But I'm using sugars. I'm using this organic cane sugar and brown sugar. Now, you can use light brown sugar and dark brown sugar, which I've done before, and that's really good as well. Just really rich flavors, okay? So let's actually get this stuff in the mixer, and we'll go over more of the ingredients then. You'll see the ingredients as they go in, and you're gonna get the ingredients too from. So let's. Now you don't need a mixer. You could do this by hand, but I got this for my birthday for myself. It's good to treat yourself, and in this case, you know. So we have the mixer. We're gonna throw in the bananas, and they don't really need that much mixing. But as this is mixing, we're gonna also prepare the pan that I'm gonna show you how I prepare the loaf pan as well. So these are really ready. It's like bananas that you forgot to use when you're smoothie, and you're like, I forgot to use it. I used all the other ones, and these are just like the last ones. Just put it in the banana bread. You don't have to waste it. And we're gonna add 2 more here. Oh, why no nuts? Oh, I don't like nuts in my banana bread. I'm one of those. I really don't. You could add nuts. um, yeah, I don't know why. You could add flax seeds to this. You could add so many great things. This is a great base. Okay, I want you to see closer inside the bowl. So I'm gonna move you just a little closer. There you go. I'm gonna move you closer, and I'm gonna move the bowl closer. All right. So we're gonna lock this in. We're gonna, there we go, and put it on 1. So while that's turning, I want it to be mushy. I want it to be mushy. I want it to have like almost liquidy, and I'll show you what I mean by that. But in the meanwhile, the pan. You can use a loaf pan. I don't like nuts in mine. I see people. I don't like nuts in mine. I don't like. Well, I have to pick them out. But you could throw nuts on the top. You could throw nuts inside. I'm gonna see. This is a traditional loaf pan, but I also use the round pan. I actually use the round pan for some that I did last night. So you can use a round pan or a square pan, which obviously is just for decorative purposes, and also the thickness too. I'm gonna line it up with parchment paper. So I'm gonna cut it right here, right? And when it goes in, it doesn't have to hit all the way to the top because it's gonna be. You're gonna put butter here or a little oil, a little butter and oil here on both sides. I like to put it on both sides so it's just easier to pull out, and you don't have to use so much parchment paper. You don't have to like have it come out the edges. I'm just putting it a little on the bottom so when it comes out, and you'll see when I check out the final product. So let's check now back onto our bananas. All right. Ooh, okay, no, I want to stop it. All right, I'm gonna stop it for a second and lift it up so you can see the consistency there. All right, I think that's okay. I would like it a little bit more. But when I put the sugar in, it's going to be, you're going to see a lot less lumps because the sugar is going to help really mix that in better. So that's why in the recipe, you'll see that I say add the sugar. All right, I'm going to leave it like that so you can see. All right. Nope. Is that, all right, I'll just move the pan. How about that? All right, so I'm going to add the sugar. All right, there you go. Let's see, I'm going to add 1 cup of organic cane sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar, okay? Now, I know it seems like a lot of sugar, but you can minimize this however you want. Just play with it. But I like the sweetness of this banana bread just like this. Okay, so we have 1 cup, right, of sugar. It's gonna go right in. And you notice I stopped the machine, right? So you want to stop the machine, put the sugar in. I'm gonna put now the brown sugar. Honestly, light sugar and brown sugar, I like to add those instead of the white sugar, but I don't want to buy so many types of sugar in the house. So it's really your preference. If I'm doing this for a party or something, I'll do light and brown. I'll like play around with the. Okay, so this is dark brown sugar, and this is a cup. Oh, I put way too much more than a cup. All right, let's see. This is 1 cup of brown sugar here, okay? And we're gonna put this back down to stir up a little bit. And that's gonna help really mush up the bananas more. For baking, usually you wanna do the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients separate. In this case, it's not, rocket science. You don't have to do it that way. But it's still gonna be fluffy. So I like it to put the sugar though with the bananas in order to make the bananas more cooked. So now you can see the bananas are pretty it's pretty watery like, right? All right, so that's good. Now we're gonna add our flowers and things like that. So I'm gonna lock it in. I'm gonna scroll you up. All right. Can you use agave nectar? Yes, you can use agave nectar. Honestly, any sweetener would do because you're just enhancing the banana flavors. The only thing I wouldn't experiment too much with because of the consistency is the flour. I tried to do it with spelt. It just gets really really dough, like really dense. But maybe I could just add half spelt, half flour. But play around with this recipe. It's a good basic foundational recipe. Does anyone else have any more questions? Let's see. So yes, add nuts, maple syrup or agave. Yes, maple syrup. I like using it. I just don't have any today. But if you're going to use the maple syrup, don't use the granulated sugar. These are instead of. All right, so let's put the flour. So what time is it? All right. Good thing we're not baking this because this is actually, once you do this batter, it's an hour in. All right, so this is actually, we need 2 cups and a half. So I'm just going to go for the full 2 cups. All right, and I'm just going to pour this now while I have this shield guard, but I hardly use it. But I'll show you how it's supposed to be used. Okay. Let me. Sorry for the movement of the camera here. We're doing it. All right, so like this. Splash guard. We're going to add the flour. And we can still add this while it's on, actually. Add our 2.5 cups of flour. So far we've done what? We did the bananas. We did the sugar. 2 cups of sugar, 4 bananas, 2.5 cups of flour. If you're keeping track, okay. And now we're gonna do the rest of the dry ingredients, which is some baking soda, 1 teaspoon, which is gonna give us our fluffiness. I'm gonna here we go. Don't mind me. I'm doing it by memory, but this is supposed to be 1 teaspoon. This is not 1 teaspoon. All right. We're gonna take baking powder. Again, this recipe is going to be online, so if you're keeping up, don't worry. I'm gonna go over it one more time. So these are 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of each. And we're gonna go with another 1 teaspoon of pumpkin spice and cinnamon. Okay. As a chef, I can eyeball it, but you guys don't have to eyeball it. Okay. Now, I mean, pumpkin spice, I think has cinnamon. Yes, it has cinnamon already in it. I just like to add more cinnamon because it does have other flavors too. So to enhance it a little bit more, I add more cinnamon. It's optional, obviously, but I like it like this. Oh my goodness, this is gonna taste so good. All right. And yes, I'm Wale and Nadia. I have enough for you guys to come and visit me and get some. So, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have so much banana bread after this. This makes about, I would say 7 servings of a large loaf pan. Like they're hearty servings. So this is really good. Oh, all right. Another wet ingredients. All right, I'm using this type of oil, but don't kill me, all right? Um, I would like to prefer to use another oil, but I was frying some empanadas and stuff, and I was like, all right, I have this oil in the house. If you want a healthier version of the oil, please do so, but be careful with flavors. Remember, when you're doing oils, there have flavors in it. Avocado oil has flavor. Olive oil has flavor. So if you want to do like a healthier oil, I would do coconut oil. I would do an oil that you are gonna realize it's going to transfer a flavor. So this is why I use this, because it doesn't have any flavor like that. I'm going to put half a cup right in here. All right. So we're coming along. We're just missing now the vanilla, and then we're gonna go over the ingredients one more time. Oh, and the milks. Oh my gosh, how can I forget that? All right. So vanilla. So far, my son loves eating this batter too. This batter sometimes does not make it to the oven. Okay. Now, putting soy milks in here or any type of plant-based milk, I had put originally this one, almond breeze vanilla. Okay, so I know banana bread seems simple, but you can really oversweeten this if you're not careful. If you put maple syrup and sugar, if you put sweetened vanilla milk, if you know what I'm saying? So please be aware of the amount of sugars that are on all the products you're putting. So these two are pretty much has sugar in it. This has 3 grams of sugar per, let's see. This has 13 grams per 1 cup. And this has 3 grams per 1 cup. So this one's winning with the sugar, with the least amount of sugar. So today I'm putting this one with the least amount of sugar. Last time I put this one, and I usually put unsweetened, and I said, hey, it's vanilla. It's okay. It was really, really sweet. So please be aware. That's one thing. Same thing with the type of sugars. If you're going to put maple syrup and stuff like that, just be aware of the level of sugar that's going in there. If you want to put it for breakfast, put flax seeds in it. You can add it, like I said, spelt earlier. So many nuts and grains. So you could put this as dessert. Okay, this is going to stop right here. You could put this as dessert or as breakfast or anytime really, but it's so good. All right, so I want you to see the batter a little bit here. I'm going to lift this up. Open it up. All right. So can you see the batter there? And the phone, I hope the phone doesn't fall right off the. All right. So it's looking pretty thick, the batter. Okay. There we go. So it's looking pretty thick. I'm going to add now I didn't add the milk. So the last thing is the milk. Well, it's the last thing I'm putting. All right, so we're gonna put the milk, half cup. If I didn't already put it, maybe I did, because I was talking, but it's all good. No, I didn't put the milk. All right, so we're gonna mix this last part up. Remember to preheat your oven to 350. Preheat your oven. This is gonna take an hour in the oven. I used to think, all right, can I speed this up? It's just one of those really slow baking banana breads, but it's so worth the wait for an hour, and it makes the whole house smell so good. Even upstairs has told me, and they're like, "You're making that banana bread?" I'm like, "Yup." So Really worth the try. I hope you try this. Let me know if you do. But we're gonna put this now in the pan. I'm gonna show you in 1 second. Okay, this is done, and this is the batter. Oh man, this is so good as it is. My son's in school right now, but he would be eating this if he had a chance. All right, I want you to see the batter. All right, this is how you want it. Okay, and you're gonna put this in your pan. Okay, that has the parchment paper, right, lined up with butter and oil. I do have to taste it. I can't help it. So good. Oh yeah. All right. Right. So let's go over the ingredients one last time, and then I'll show you the final product because I do have some already that's made. All right. So we did 4 ripe bananas, 2.5 cups of flour. I recommend you can do all-purpose flour, but if you have self-rising flour and things like that, or that's totally cool too. Half a cup of oil, baking soda, baking powder, pumpkin spice, cinnamon, all 1 teaspoon, sugar, 1 cup of white sugar, and 1 cup of brown sugar, which I said again that you can change out to whatever type of sugars, and half a cup of milk. Oh, and vanilla, sorry. So that is the bread. Now let's take a look at how it's. This is my favorite part in cooking shows when the food is already done. Like, oh, they just did the batter, and then they act like they just went to. They just did it. By the way, check this out. Hold on. There we go. Get these online. Black VegFest. I had to do the plug. I had to do the plug. So we're gonna take a look at this now. And this is the banana bread. This I was being lazy when I put the parchment paper. This really didn't need that much parchment paper. But yes, look at that. I'm going to put it on a plate now. I have cut it up into slices. This was already eaten out, obviously, by my family. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this made 8 slices, and they're pretty thick. I'm going to show you right now how thick they are. I'm going to plate it up. Get I'm trying to make it look pretty. And that's the banana bread. Sorry, that's not pretty. That's pretty. All right. You see, we get the fluffiness, the height, right? No eggs. Isn't that crazy? We didn't need any eggs to get a nice height on a bread, and it has a nice golden color. Trust me, though, like I said, you have to make it like an hour, 60 minutes in the oven. Keep checking on it. It just really needs that time. I don't know. It's not like those that you buy in the boxes, obviously. It's so good. This is my favorite part. This is my favorite part of the show. Showing you guys the food. All right. So, like I said, I did it in a pan like this. You don't even have to have a loaf pan. If you have a loaf pan, it's better. I just couldn't find mine. I forgot I had it down here. But this also type of pan will do. Yes, perfect with coffee. Top it with some coconut whipped cream or any type of. You could even have it with cream cheese or butter and things like that. I love this type of bread. This is so good. Trust me, this is like my son will eat this every day if I let him in the morning. He'll eat it every day. There you go. Sorry, I'm just doing the simple turn. There we go. You don't even need to see me. You just need to see the star of the show, the banana bread. I really do hope you try this recipe. We're gonna do some more sweets recipes because I feel like we did a lot of savory, and sweets are so good. I think the next thing we might do is vegan tres leches. What do you think? What do you think? Because I saw this tres leches, but with pumpkin in it, and I know that sounds like, I don't know, it sounds really like, oh, we're just gonna put pumpkin in everything. But why not? Okay. So good. The tres leches was one of my favorites. So we're gonna try that for next week, and even flan maybe. I'm giving away all these good recipes. Use them however you wish. All right. So thank you for joining me. Again, we have this merch online. Okay, you can buy this online, support. Okay, I want you to see the shirt better. All right. Thank you so much for joining the cast today. Again, this recipe will be on the IG. We're going to be doing a series of food, political education coming up, and also documenting the things that we're doing. We're going to have an event coming up in November for not Thanksgiving, we calling it Thanks-taking. All right. So please join us. That's going to be in Brooklyn. We're going to give you all the information as it comes. But in the meanwhile, this really has been my favorite one. So thick and comfortable. All right. I'm just plugging it up over here. So anyway, thank you for joining us. And next week, we're going to try to do another dessert. I'm thinking tres leches. If I saw some hands up saying, yes, they agree, tres leches or flan. Or maybe next week, cheesecake. So all these recipes, remember, veganism is so easy. I mean, these days we have Google. If you don't know a recipe, just Google it. I've taken these recipes online and changed them over time. What works for me, what doesn't. Like, I found this recipe online and there was a few things that I didn't like about it, so I changed it up. And then you play with it and then you get really good results, right? So veganism is just, if you want to do it, you can. So easy, okay? And it's affordable too. If you cook like this in the morning and you're making yourself banana bread all week, you're saving yourself money. You know how much this costs in the store? Vegan, artisanal banana bread. You know how much that costs in a coffee shop where I live in Bed-Stuy? This is like $8, $7 with coffee. Like, you're saving yourself $10 every morning. So, and it takes $10 to make for the whole week, because this is like less than $10 to make. So it's really affordable. We want you to know that it's still possible. Please be aware of how you're eating, how you're living. We're still not out of the pandemic, and even in general, you understand how it is politically right now. It's crazy. So please be safe and be smart. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you again next Wednesday, 12 o'clock. All right? Next Wednesday.